Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Film and TV News. It's been a while, but I've already uploaded for quite some time. Today I want to talk about the two topics. And one is talk about the Steven Spielberg one, supposed to direct of the Call of Duty movie. The other was going to be Ben Stiller along with Jeremy Allen White, the Bear fame, would be directing Air. Well, talks and direct, and start along Stiller would direct, and White always going to be starred in the Airman movie when A24 talks it. Was both are landing related to World War II. So let's talk about this topic first. Now, in case you don't know, Paramount Pictures acquired movie rights to Call of Duty video game franchise with Activision for Activision Blizzard and Microsoft. But it's probably you know that I'm not sure the director chair. Like I think my I might want to know. I'm not no choice. They haven't know that this is going to be a huge turning point. And David, in fact, one of the CEO and chairman at Paramount, Paramount Skydance, more specifically, David Ellison was a huge Call of Duty fan. So I think that I'm not sure that there's going to be a directing chair like let's say David Ayer, who made a couple World War II movie called Fury with Brad Pitt. So that should be happening, but I'm not sure the other directors, but who knows? And don't come to start with Darren Aronofsky. It's too boring. Anyway, Paramount was great to but however, there's a one filmmaker I really know that he turned down because of apparent reasons that is similar to another movie that came who's the same director, and that director was a mastermind, Steven Spielberg. And Steven Spielberg decided to direct of the Call of Duty movie, but unfortunately, it declined because he's too similar to another movie, World War II movie called um, what's it called? Oh, Saved by Ryan. And it's pretty much just copy that. So it's more like a terrorist things, if you would call that. So this is a report from This is a report from the worldreal.com and over at Puck. Paramount has confirmed what Puck's Matt Biglioni, I don't know what it is, reported last week that a Call of Duty movie is officially delivered through the new deal with Activision. No director or creative talent is attached yet. According to three sources via Puck, Steven Spielberg himself personally direct to the adaptation his and the partners pitch Activision's on Steven Spielberg's vision to bring a blockbuster gaming franchise to the big screen. Spielberg, who were known to the passion gamer and a fan of COD, was on in. I'm not, even though Steven Spielberg was not a gamer actually, but he's not a huge gamer fan. Like, I know as part of my, he's making more the movies and the filmmaking activities. He's not a gamer, for God's sake. Anyway, the Spielberg deal means the off-the-topic pay Panicata full creative and marketing control. Activision, now under Microsoft, is a parent company of Amazon, Activision Blizzard, willing to seize that much power. Instead, they learned forward David Ellison's pitch, which gave the company so far more oversight of the process. So Spielberg's dreaming of making Call of Duty die that day. Now the all eyes are the Paramount to see who they hands of the red reins to on one of the gaming's most lucrative IPs. Spielberg recently shot his mysterious sci-fi film starring Emily Blunt for Universal. It's neither called The Dish and the Discourse. Where yes, this came. I think this came out next year at the same time as another movie called The Odyssey from directors Christopher Nolan. It's in the same studio, so yeah, both titles will have been circulated as a possibilities. Other than one he's had the Fred Prudent movie in the narrative with Bradley Cooper to star. Yeah, I know. Unlike Martin Scorsese and Francis Ford Coppola, Steven Spielberg's career has pretty much become the aging filmmaker, and same goes Clint Eastwood. He had to do in the films more the aging. Reminded the end of the movie, like the last movie was pretty so bad that David Zaslav not happy to releasing that Junior number two, Juno's number two, was so releasing between Infinite being gone on box office failure and eventually straight to release on Max later, HBO Max of course. So that's that's what you know. But the thing I'm going to retire for acting, filmmaking entirely, but still. As for Activision and Paramount, the potential video game adaptation is too massive to risk on Spielberg. Call of Duty is one of the most successful video game franchises ever, have sold more than 400 million copies worldwide since 2003. Known under the cinematic first-person shooter campaign and wide popular multiplayer modes, the franchise has become the cultural juggernaut. And yes, I mean, the only game I really know, and again, I'm not a gamer, you know the rest, because the only game was Modern Warfare. I would never played the game. I was a kid, and I was 10, 11 years old, and I loved it, and I remember that. So it's still one of my favorite games, and of all time. So I would become a great melody, childhood melodies. So movie adaptation has long been seen as an inevitable. Harry Corrine, yes, the director of Traps Humbers and Spring Breakers and the more weird house films that people care about. Oh, and Mr. Lonely with so many actors, including Yuri Luna, who later become a massive star in the Inaugural series as well as in Star Wars franchise as Outdoor. So there, and also the recent musical film, how's it? Kiss of the Spider Woman with Jennifer Lopez. So I'm excited. I got good reviews, but I hope it's going to be a music adaptation. So we'll see. Anyway, Wells' recent, yeah, I know Hamilton Cormie was more like a house filmmaker, like unlike say Long Sports Fair or even the, say the direct or Gaspar Noé, no, Gaspar Noé. No, whatever they call it, is a French filmmaker that people care about. So yeah, I know the art house films very much more different. Ingmar Bergman, Bon Joon, or and even the late and especially our more filmmakers are more recent and like more the art house style. So yeah, and even Khalifa John was having two films under the belt, Revenge and The Substance. So who knows? So yeah, who cares? So anyway, let's continue. Who else reasoned writing on the subject? The self-professional gaming assets, he claimed that the new advance in the video game technology looks visually better than anything on film. As he's told EW and Entertainment Weekly reports, it's like it almost gone for 360. Pop up, that's the Xbox 360 was foreshadowing that Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard. That's in 2023. That's 2 years ago. Anyway, you can cool look at the Call of Duty trailer now, and it looks better than anything that Spielberg's ever done. So this is kind of a prediction. It said, imagine that Steven Spielberg might direct Call of Duty movie, but it turns out it's true, but not really. He's not good, but he's not going to be direct. He's turned it down immediately. So, yeah, turns out not even Spielberg could be a green light, and I agreed, but that director was never. So yeah, Steven Spielberg already turned it down. Paramount, because of the decisions that Paramount decided not doing that because it's more like a visionary filmmaker. It's like reminds me of Luca Guadagnino's, who should be directing the DCU Sucker Rock movie. However, the heads of DC Studios and Warner Brothers, and James Gunn and Peter Safran are not happy, so decided to scrap it in the last minute, and even Luca Guadagnino doing other stuff. More recently, the working on the new Fisher movie stars Andrew Garfield and Monica Barlow, you know, from the Bob Dylan biopic, complete unknown, along with Tiffany Chalamet. But yeah, I know this murderman. Yeah, but I can't blame the gun and saffron. But this is not like people calling company meddling. It's like doing studio interference. Like this movie could be like Subway Rock was going to be a flop because it got ruined, got a good career. But thank God he never happened to move on to all the stuff, including all official information. So anyway, but or even the other filmmaker, even the probably other filmmaker like Darren Aronofsky is supposed to set the direct of a back in the mid 2010s that this is supposed to be direct of the one movie called Red Sparrow, with I think that happened, but however, it turned down for obvious reasons. It's too the movie too similar. But this is a rumor, so hold on a second. That is true on Wikipedia, and I think that back in 2013, when 20th Century Fox and back when news became relevant, that Apollo Mode is pretty much the movie was pretty much what about, and it's going to be a new adaptation of Red Sparrow, but Eric Warren Singer will write the screenplay. However, it dropped out entirely. But eventually, the director David Fincher came on board with movie model to star. It never happened, and then eventually Francis Lawrence with Jennifer Lopez on board. So that's so sad that it didn't work. But yeah, I probably know that Red Sparrow movie got mediocre at the time when Jennifer Lawrence's career is gone mediocre at best after Hunger Games. Mostly, like another Aronofsky film was Mother, was also starring Jennifer Lawrence, but I digress. But still, I think this is didn't work for Mr. Spielberg. I mean, and like I said, this movie is in too much similar to another movie. Um, so Saving Private Ryan. That's a World War II movie that's pretty much the too similar. But it's like imagine that the Steven Spielberg directed Call of Duty movies could be like or Saving Private Ryan, probably more but for terrorists between in the Middle East. That's like that sounds like to make a sequel of that. That doesn't make no sense. It didn't work. So yeah, Steven Spielberg decided not doing that for obvious reasons. That too similar to Saving Private Ryan. There should be a sequel of that. It's kind of similar with the Gladiator 2, but Ridley Scott wanted to make another Gladiator movie for decades, and they did. And it stars Paul Mercy and along with Denzel Washington as a supporting role. So I love that movie by the way, but that movie's all. But I kind of like this movie, but that movie's pretty much received reviews. But I will enjoy that. Paul Messi was becoming the fall star, and the next movie was Hamet with alongside JC Bluntly. So yeah, we'll see what happens. So yeah, that's so sad that Steve Spielberg decided turn it down to direct a Call of Duty movie for Paramount for no apparent reason, and especially too similar to Saving Private Ryan. However, you know what else? World War II was going to be making a different direction with director by the other famous comedian that about this time was comedian. That's right, Ben Stiller was on board to direct of the Airman movie from A24, where she was directing the World War film about World War II survival tale. Now, this is a report from the Hollywood Reporter, and Stiller was on board to directing along with Jeremy Allen White from The Boys fame. No, I'm sorry. That's a different franchise. That's not in the movie. From the Bear fame, that's much better. Who I'm a Goopy Star too. So, and this is based on the nonfiction book by Seb Meyerowitz. Yeah, that name didn't make no sense. It's Seth Meyers is pretty much the host of the Late Night with Seth Meyers on NBC, but even not as confused. It's Seth Meyerowitz, but I don't know what the name is. Anyway, so this is going to be an industry one. Now, Stiller, if you know, he's a comedian and director who's been there for a long time, and the recent work in the Apple TV Plus series, Severance, was gone a turning point. And the first and the second season was probably maybe the turning point of the Apple TV Plus original content. It was probably become a popular along the morning show and slow horses. So this is pretty rivals between Netflix and Prime Video. So I probably know Ben Stiller wanted to continue on. However, he decided not directing Severance season three immediately because he had been working on the project that Stiller would want to do based on it's going to be a more like a non-comedy film. It's going to be more serious drama film. So this, of course, we're going to Hollywood Reporter. Um, the non-fiction book, The Lost Airman, a true story of the escaped Nazis of cold France, is flying once again. This time with the help of A-listers Ben Stiller and Jeremy Allen White, as well as A24. Yes, A24. Yes, that's right. I know this is the same company who made it in recent movies. This is the Best Picture winner of Moonlight. Yes, Mama La La Land. It came supposed to get winner, but its actually winner was Moonlight. Shame on him, Oscars. And as well as in two, and the second box best picture winner was The Everything Everywhere All at Once, was a turning point of cinema. So that's from Daniel. So this is pretty much the a new golden age of independent cinema, along with the Neon and recently movie was begun releasing the success of The Substance, as was the upcoming film Die My Love from Lynn Leslie, stars Jennifer Lawrence and Robert Pattinson, will be released in December. So and so I probably know the Ben Stiller has no, not really, not too good relation of the company. He also did it from Ben Stiller's Jerry Stiller's documentary on Apple TV Plus. So I pretty know this is from A24. I'm not sure, but yeah, it did make anyway, let's continue. All are all in the various stages of talks to bring the adaptation to the big screen. Deal makes Stiller will direct and produce the adaptation of the book written by the Seth Meyerless, who will be a star. White A24 is in the negotiations to land a package with the title simply Area Man. Stiller will be also produced via the long-standing production banner Red Hour Films. Also producing will be the John Lister for via his Gillespie Productions and PJ Van Siddick of Storyteller Productions. Jack Gyllenhaal, who was the having started to be adaptation be a director in the late 2010s with, of course, Amazon and GM, remained involved as producer via his Nine Stories banner. Um, I gotta mention that I think this pretty much related to that movie, but this is a young, fresh young actor, Jeremy Allen White, who's came in the movie The Iron Clone, as well as the upcoming Springsteen, uh, Bruce, I don't know what to call this. Hold on a second. Bruce Springsteen biopic. I pronounced right. So the boss himself were with biopic in coming in latter half in 2025 and 2026, early 2026, of course. But I think the younger French actors like Paul Mercy and especially more like Tiffany Chalamet, but to pretty much the different kind of actors, more young or fresh actors that want to be actors. So still, the book. The 2016 book tells the incredible true story of Arthur Myronis, an American turned gunner for his B-24 bomber. Uh, I don't know what to kill. Look, I know the B-17 bomber thing was probably come from Angry Video Gamer. I don't know. This from the Double Vision review, ColecoVision and Division, like whatever that the B-17 bomber thing I see on YouTube. I saw the AVGN versus B-17 bomber video. It's really freaking funny, and I saw on YouTube. Anyway, as was shut down by Vichy France in 1943 while hiding in the French countryside, Marois befriended Marcel Tanalin, the founder of the legendary French resistance group the Sud Mohange, who helped shelter men from the Gaspon through the secret network. After 6 months of very Iranian capture, the escape plan was a chat that saw the soldier cross into the Spain and eventually freed them. Um, Ben Strucklight, who penned the upcoming romantic drama Houston of Sound, starring Paul Mercy and Josh O'Connell, both of the heartthrob younger actors you're familiar with, who've been in a lot, and of course is also in Gladiator 2, and that this guy, Paul Mercy, was in At the Sun, Gladiator 2, and of course, Hamet. Anyway, wrote the screenplay. So if it all deals to come together, the plan will be to start production in the early 2027. There is 2 years, so yeah. The project will mark the return for the future filmmaking for Stiller, who for the last few years immerses himself in the serious work he emerged as one of the creative forces of the acclaimed Apple TV Plus series Cerberus, directing 11 of its episodes and serves as one of the executive producers. The show's second season hints of the Emmy later this month with the 27 nominations and most of any show this year prior to the seventh. He directed Escape Dalmamon, acclaimed Prison Break miniseries that earned him the DGA award as well as an Emmy nomination. The last feature he helmed was 2016 Zoolander 2, was a mediocre sequel that because he was beaten by Deadpool at the box office. So yeah. White was deep into this year's festival circuit in the awards season thanks to her starring turn portraying Bruce Springsteen in the Delivery Me Nowhere, Scott Cooper's drama from 20th Century Studios, for Disney of course. The premiere at the Interpreter Film to Write Film Festival last week with White's performance, Journey, strong noses, and the award chatter. The actor also is also hailing to the Emmys, hoping there for the third consecutive win for his work and the outstanding lead role category from FX The Bear. Wow, this is gonna be interesting. I mean, Ben Stiller wanted to make focus away to comedian things and more different direction, like did in the last attempt in the Escape of the Dana Moria series. So this is going to be a more different direction, and the World War II Survivor Tale Airman movie was going to be a masterpiece. Like, it reminded me of another movie. You were seeing that. You know, Romance Day, Simon Mendes' 1970 was a war film. Was this movie is used in one take of sorts, so this pretty much a turning point. However, between that, like this could be like a 1970 when without the one take, but it's also inspired like in other war films like Saving Private Ryan. So it was from Steven Spielberg, like we mentioned in the last one. So I think that this movie is going to be a more a turning point. And originally, I want to mention that Jake Gyllenhaal were originally set to start, but however, the Czech casting choice is too old to replace by younger actor from the Bear series. Also in portrayed in the other films like The Iron Claw, as mentioned, and of course Bruce Springsteen in the Living Me Nowhere. So this is pretty much what's going to be happening, and I hope Ben Stiller, along with Jeremy Allen White, and other people at A24 will set distribute. Also, I know to mention that one studio, I think that one studio was should be the other studios who get and distribute of that Airman movie was from like for example like Amazon and MGM, where it's the actually who got a partnership because since Jake Gyllenhaal's production company had a call along partnership, or rather released from 20th Century Studios for Disney, since Jeremy Allen White was becoming the huge star from the FX The Bear. So as was the upcoming Bruce Springsteen um, biopic, Deliver Me Nowhere. So I think we'll know, but I think that A24 was my pick. But even the other studios, like I mentioned, Amazon, MGM, and 20th Century Studios were under Disney, were made as mine to distribute. But we'll see what happens. But I'm not sure the casting choices yet. So we're probably gonna go on very soon and we begin filming in 2 years in 2027. So can't wait to see what happens. And that's well, you know, that's two films were related to World War II and more like war stuff. So and including except Steven Spielberg didn't want to directing, declined to direct the Call of Duty movie, and another was that Ben Stiller was working on the new World War II Survivor Tale Airman movie, was based on the book because I never read the book, of course. So we'll see what happens, and if and again, there's no word to direct and writer attached to Call of Duty movie for Paramount and Activision and Microsoft, but under the new leadership from Paramount's guidance, but we'll see. So that's pretty much it of this video today. Thank you for watching. And that concludes another edition of Film and TV News. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Give me a like this video, share your friends, and don't forget to subscribe and ring the notification bell to up to date all you content every single day. So until the next video, I'll see you later, and remember, keep watching on What Do You Mean.